A Stella Tour diary for the week ending 13th of June. What a crazy week it was. I spent Sunday and Monday climbing some of the biggest hills. This one in particular coming out of Osoyoos called Anarchist, of all things. And then that brought me into Greenwood past Midway. Midway being the town which is the direct midpoint between the centre of BC and the Alberta border. Incidentally, I couldn't help myself. After being eaten alive by mosquitoes, I decided to take the exit off the Kettle Valley Trail only to come across a scales for trucks, and it was actually operational and no one was there, so I couldn't help myself. I rolled everything on and weighed it, and according to it, I think my rig weighs about 145 this year. Now, obviously that's calibrated for tons, so it may not be that accurate. So let's see what the total actually is when I bring it into Vitacycles in Calgary when I'm back in the province. So Anarchist is a whopping 1,491 meters above sea level and 25 kilometers of my day was spent over 4 hours. And then I had another 60 kilometers to cycle after that. I was wrecked. I then stayed with Bev and Richard in Christina Lake to recover. Thankfully this year I saw no cougars on the way into town. Took a day off, and then the following day was Paulson's Pass, the next giant and the single most tall climb on this cycle of a whopping 1,535 meters above sea level. That took me into Castlegar for Thursday night. I practically got rained out of it on Friday, just whopping storms. Saturday then I played Tail Out Brewery. Shout out to Partake. That is some of the best non-alcoholic beer I have ever tasted. So tasty. And a big shout out to Selena for offering me a beautiful place to sleep, and also to Reese for driving me over the Salmo Pass, which cut out my need to cycle to Nelson, take the Balfour ferry, and then cycle all the way down to Creston. We instead drove straight from Castlegar across to Creston, so she saved me 2 days of cycling. Oh, what a joy. I then cycled to Moy. Because of a miscalculation I had, I ended up having to knock on a stranger's door that night, and this gentleman, Len, let me sleep in his spare room, so thank you very much to you. The following day, I cycled 1 kilometre down the road to the Moy Provincial Park, which I was so close to. I could have just gone there instead of annoying poor Len, but anyway, I had a gorgeous breakfast there by the lake. Then I cycled on into Yak and had an amazing ice cream there at Two Scoop Steve's. Oh my god, this thing, I think it was called a Moose Fizzler or something. Anyway, it's lemon sorbet with ginger ale poured all over it. So refreshing on a very, very hot day. Wow. And then the following day, I started in Norbury Lake Provincial Park, and a huge big shout out to Stefan and Sharon for the lovely hospitality and an exquisite swim in the lake there. Oh my god, it was just breathtaking. So tune in next week to hear what we saw passing through our campsite when I was sitting out with Stefan and Sharon. And that is it for this week. Tune in next week. I'm going to be live in studio again with Alan. I will talk to you then.